Hello everyone, welcome to Sriram IAS. Myself Shivashankari alias Shiva Ignatius. So today we are going to connect for our next session on ethics, which is related to case study discussion. Sorry, theoretical questions discussion. Okay, so it's a part 5, and as we are doing alternate sessions for theory as well as the case study classes, and last class which we completed is of case study. So this will be definitely a theory question class. And now we will start the questions. So see, as we have completed the unit 1 and from unit 2, we have already started the unit 2. We are in the end of discussion, and there only one question is pending from unit 2. We will complete that also, which is about the attitude unit, right? Then we will move to the third unit, that is aptitude and the foundational values of civil service, and that also we will analyze. And if time permits, we'll connect the fifth unit today, not the fourth one. Fourth one we will take it along with the sixth unit, and we'll club fourth, sixth, seventh. In that we will do the last two sessions will be clubbing of all these three unit. Will do it. Okay, so shall we start? Yes. See this one question which is pending, right? We'll discuss that first. The question begins like this. More talented young women are joining the civil services, ready to face the challenges of public administration. Does it reflects the changing attitude of society towards women? Okay, examine. This is the question. Now, what the question is asking you to do, and then we'll talk about the question, the meaning of the question. First, what the question is asking you to do, the question is asking you to examine the statement. Okay, so that means what you have to do. So, you have to first scrutinize the statement which is given to you. You have to check whether that is right or wrong. You have to produce certain facts, certain data to support your answer. That's it. Like it's a kind of justification you're going to give while scrutinizing, or whether you're checking that statement, the truthfulness of the statement. That is how you have to present your answer. Now, what the question is saying, now come to the statement. So, statement is important here. The question is saying that more talented young women joining the civil services, ready to face the challenges of public administration. So, still that it's a statement, okay? Now, the question is, does it reflects the changing attitude of society towards women? That means they are saying that whether now the people has changed their attitude. Previously they were discriminating. There were gender discrimination, right? So gender disparity was there. So now whether it has all been moved, whether the society has changed. So by the way that the more women are entering into public administration. So that's the question. Now you have to examine the statement. So for that, you can just start with for using the negative side of the statement that chalo, like even though we have started even a lot of women are starting to enter into the administration, the society's views has changed, but even like where and all we are lagging. So first you can start with the lagging area, then you can say then you can give the positive side of that statement, and then everything with some examples. You have to provide certain examples or certain factual data which you have in your hand, and then you can say at last, at finally we are here, so we can move in this way. So this way your answers has to be there. So now we can see what type of answers you're going to give to this question, right? As very recently there was a news also related to women entering into the permanent commission of defense services. And not only that, the commanding position of women was challenged in the court, and the center also gave a very good reply for that. So we are bringing that first. It's that's asking. It's not asking only in the civil services. Asking whether the society's view has changed or not. Okay. So for that, let us begin that in the defense services. You see how the changes has happened. Very recently only, women has been committed into a permanent commission. Previously, only short service commission was there for women. That kind of discrimination was there in the job profile, right? So now Army, Navy, Air Force, all the three wings as admitted for permanent commission. This and all you would be getting from your current affairs knowledge. And apart from that, not only that, even you can see the armed forces has opened the entry for the NDA, Defense Academy. So the women candidates are now admitted into it. The first batch, wonder how the first batch has started 2022. So very recently only they gave this opening. Indian Army has also opened, a lot of new things for the women officers. Even very recently, to serve as a pilot was also opened since 2021. Some data I have given. You even take much more data. You can use this in your essays also. So the question is that society means society includes everyone, right? Learned, the unlearned, the uneducated, I can say, the traditional mentality people, the forward mentality people, because we do have everyone which makes up that society. So society part and parcel of all these kinds of people, right? Some right. So then if so, such a kind of people who are there, who are a part of nation building, is even not in a mentality to see women are with men, because very recently the commanding position in the army, those who has entered into the permanent commission, women who has entered into the permanent commission, has applied for commanding position, so when she gives a command, the army has to obey. What they did, the battalion has to obey, right? So they said, see, in the army, men's are there. Men do not have that mentality to take command from the women. This was the reply given to the Supreme Court when that particular women officers has challenged in the Supreme Court. This was a reply given to the Supreme Court by not an individual, by the center representation from the center. They were given this answer. So this is like we are here. Okay, we are not, we have moved a bit, but we are still lagging behind a lot, right? So why there should not be a commanding position given women? That was a question in the face of everyone, because she is undergoing same kind of training, same kind of challenging task she is also undertaking like a man, right? So this is one example you can see. But on the other hand, you can see that BCCI, what happened very recently. This also happened 2021-22. They gave, they admitted the women cricketers are also putting equal effort like men. So why they should be paid less? So they brought this, the same pay scheme, like you get the same pay like a man. So this is a complete welcome step only, but where we are giving this only now to women cricketers, right? So this is another important thing you can say. But now you can also use this point to say that although we have lagged behind, we have not given so much importance to women or women's improvement. At least now we are accepting that to a. So this is a complete welcoming step only towards the gender equality we are dreaming and in the game. So this is going to change the perspective of the society to the treatment towards women. Okay, so that's why we can say this is going to erase discrimination also. This is another example you can give, right? So come to education, now come to civil service only. Education and the government jobs, how we are and how we were. Okay, so if you see the first women who has cleared the IAS, the Anna Judge, when she took, starting from 1951, I'm saying, when she took charge, when she came for the interview, she was questioned that why you want to join administrative services? It's not for women. Why you want to join a police or administration? It's not for women. Police is not for women, and you can just opt for some foreign services. Okay, so this was a question which was put forward to her, and even after she accepted that she want to get into the IAS, that appointment letter came with the condition that if you are married, then this will be terminated. Okay, then as it did not happen, actually they did not apply it, but see there was a rule behind. So we were there, we were lagging, and in so much so back we were, but now we have moved ahead. That's what I can say. And the past 2 years, we would have also seen that women candidates topped the top three rank, and you can also see this. Not only that, uh, you know. Almost like 1,000 candidates who has been nearly 950 candidates been referred to the UPSC. So almost 300 women's occupied the space. So this way we have improved a lot, but still there is a lot space to get, to move. So this way you have to present the statement. So you can say yes, yes, because women who are entering into the business, as you can say, the first woman who was discriminated even in the board, as also, she was asked a question that could she prefer this kind of task or this kind of job, and now we are far ahead than that, right? We are welcoming women who are entering into the services. We are also treating them nice manner, but there are also a lot of problems, like as you can see, the glass ceiling effect, which is still existing in every, not only in the civil service, every place, in every job, in every task women is doing, starting from Magnarega scheme to the highest administrative services. We are seeing a glass ceiling effect, that they see that women's work is in the kitchen, so why you are here, this kind of mentality is there. And then gender bias, that's definitely there, because what happens, the question is that in the initial phase of the training, like whatever services we are going to take, in the initial phase of training, everyone undergoes the same kind of training. There is no discrimination. You are a woman, so you need not climb a horse. He's a man, so he can ride a horse. It's no such thing. You are given the same kind of training, but why come when you are asking for a higher position or a commanding position, why you to face that bias? That's a question which is in front. And even softer postings were given to women, because politicians don't feel comfortable working with women in most of the cases, except exceptionals. There are certain exceptionals also. So even the glamorous, we call glamorous portfolios, which like I can take the urban development and the law and order, especially finance. Okay, all these are only preferred for men, not preferred by men. Even women prefer it. And gender disparity, this only we are saying the different kind of treatment which we give to men and a women. Okay, although she is also putting equal effort and she is also contributing equally like a man, it's not yet accepted by the society. So that's the question. Now come to the question. So I have given certain facts for you. I was given data for you. Now, back to the question. The question is saying this only. Does it reflects the changing attitude of society towards women? That is new. That is more young women are joining the civil services. That means it is reflect changing attitude of society. Then you can say yes. Definitely, it is reflecting the changing attitude of the society, because women cannot stand alone, and they are not alone. They are not a single who is entering into the services. Behind them, there are many men and women who are supporting them, like a family, family, friends, everyone. They are encouraging, even like 6 attempts or 5 attempts or 4 attempts, so the women's are allowed to access the free will. So previously it was not like this, not the case. So that's how we are saying, we have said that society has moved ahead and it's completely changing the attitude, but there is a lot of room to be still cleared for the women, right? So this way your statements, its conclusion has to be that you have to start your discussion, like how you have to give a bit introduction about the attitude towards women, and then you can conclude it in this manner, right? Come to the next question. Yes, come to the next question. That's it. That is, the unit is over for you. So shall we move to the third unit? What is third unit? Aptitude and foundational views for civil service. A very small unit. Not every year I can say, like times some year there is no question this particular unit specifically will be not question, because they may give important sixth or the seventh unit, which is very important unit for you in case of ethics. So just I can say that almost 7 8 questions has appeared so far, right? So what is unit about? This unit, although it seems you know not so important in your eyes, but it is very very important, as the values which you are going to learn here, it's going to be used by you in all the questions which you are going to produce your answers with respect to the civil servant, because this unit itself is talking about the foundational values of civil service. So just see what are the topics inside. Integrity, impartiality, and non-partition, they have given certain values for you. Okay, see, these are certain values they have displayed for you, like integrity, impartiality, and non-partisanship. Okay, then objectivity and dedication to public service, empathy, tolerance, compassion towards a weaker section. Since this class is about the questions, how it is going to appear, so I like to frankly discuss something here. See, you may ask a question to me, ma'am, these are the words which are here. So will we be facing only these words in our questions, which comes from this unit? It's not like that. You will get questions from these words. Also, other values which is necessary for a civil servant will also be focused. Anna, so you'll understand when I go to the old question, when I show you the old question, you will understand why I'm saying like that. So see this. These are the questions which has come from this unit. So 2013, this kind of question has come. Like they were giving certain terms, like 5 terms were given to you, and they said that what do you understand from this particular terms with relative to the public services. This way the question was there, and then this is one pattern of question may appear from this third unit. Again, see this. That same year, there were 2 questions. Indicate 2 more attributes which you consider important for public services and justify your answer. So, not only these 5 terms, but along with this, what you may consider important for a civil servant, you give like that. The examiner is asking a question. So, this kind of questions used to appear in your exam. So, same pattern more or less will get repeated. And in 2014 also you saw there was a pattern, like they were saying it's different but same. They were asking about a particular word called dedication in services. So they were saying about patriotism in defense service and what it may be in civil service. So explain with the illustration and justify your answers. So you have to first connect dedication. Okay, then how to connect other words along with dedication. See, the one beauty of this particular unit is that when you take a single word, when a question comes from a single word, all the other values can also be connected when you are producing the answers for using that single word. Okay, so it's the beauty. If you have learned it, if you have learned like a flow chart, keep it ready. Okay, ready made, like a ready made. You have to prepare it like a flow chart. Like if this value is connected, then what next, what next, what next? You can get a flow chart like that. Use it wherever these types of questions are coming. So come to 2016, I told 2013 and 2014 there were questions. 2015 there was no such question, but 2016 we faced a question. Same way, like why this is considered as a cornerstone of public service, or it is important for a public service. This kind of question will definitely come. Okay, so especially why, how it is relevant to today's context. So if you see these questions and all, this unit will always have most illustrations, illustrate with the examples, or illustrate your answers, illustrate and justify. These kinds of illustrations will be there. Okay, that's why I told you we make a flow chart. Then explain the, see this in 2017 there was a question again, the pattern of 2013 got repeated. Can you see this? So anytime it may again get repeated. 2017 there was another repetition of the same pattern, like how these terms are relevant for the context of civil service. That way the question has come. So as you know, every word has allotted 2 marks for every word, each and every word, right? So they given again 5 words like this, and they asked a question. Then again the question was continuing. So 2016, 2017, 18, 19, 21, 22. You got question from this unit because every unit at least one question has to come. So now they're following the pattern. 2018 there will question. So again I told you. So they will be asking illustrate certain value systems which you considered as the most important attribute of a civil servant. Same way, the 3 basic values, which is universal in the context of this. If that there can be no different kind of question to be asked from this unit. They're asking mostly the questions same only. They're repeating in the different format. Okay, so different format they have asked this question. Again in 2019, the same. It is repeated in different. What are the basic principles of public life? So all are same. Basic values, basic principles. That they are asking values here. They are asking as values. Principles. Illustrate any 3 of these with suitable examples. Okay, so again it is repeated. And 2021, if you see, identify 10 essential values. So far they have 3 basic values or few values, whatever. But here they ask 10 essential values needed to be an effective civil servant or public servant. Okay, in describing the ways and means to prevent non-ethical behavior. So here they, since it's a very small thing, like values only you can give, you need not explain everything. So they came with a supplementary question, right? Then even D21, there was another question also, impartial and non-partisanship. can be considered as an indispensable quality. See this. Should impartiality and non-partisanship be considered foundational value? Okay, in the civil service, right here, it should be considered as an indispensable quality to make a successful civil servant. Discuss with illustration. Same. So, the thing is that more or less the answers would be a bit different, but the core is same, right? So they are asking how important the importance of impartiality and non-partisanship for a public servant. What is the meaning? That's what they are coming to ask. Okay, either it can be in this current socio-cultural context or the present scenario. Anyway, change the words and play with you. 2022, there was a question. See this. Apart from intellectual competency and moral quality, empathy and compassion are some of the other vital attributes that facilitate the civil servant to be more competent in tackling the crucial issues or taking critical decision. Same only. Can you understand why I am saying same? Same. See this. See this. Should impartial and being non-partisan be considered as an indispensable quality? Same way, apart from integrity, apart from impartiality, all those things, empathy and compassion also is a vital attribute. Okay, so it's an important. How important is empathy and compassion for the servant? That is what they are coming to ask, but it's asked in a different format. So, how to illustrate with certain examples. Examples are very important for this unit, right? So, shall we move to the questions now? So can you see this? If it comes, you are lucky, and it's it is going to come because every year you will be facing a question. So if it comes, enjoy that question, produce your answers. You have to take more marks in these questions. In these kinds of questions, you have to target, and you have to fetch more marks. I can say, right? So can we move to the second question? See this question. Can you list out and elaborate about some of those values which you feel that helps in strengthening the ethical competence of civil servants and strengthening mechanisms to support professional ethics? Since every time they are asking, give some list out some five values, foundational values, basic values, okay, universal values for a civil servant. I want to change a bit because already you would have an answer for those questions. So I have asked this kind of question. What I am asking you, can you list out and elaborate some of those values which you feel that helps in strengthening the ethical competence? I'm not asking about competency or skills only, the ethical, moral quality of a servant. So, which you feel which is going to highlight his moral quality or improve his moral quality, and in such a way that is going to strengthen and support the professional ethics. Okay, so he is holding a profession of serving the citizens, serving the government. So, what is going to support his professional, it's a professional morality or role morality. I can say like that also, right? So, what you will write for this question? It's a very direct question. I have given certain data for you to be utilized, but how you have to produce the answer for this question? So, what you have to do? You have to first list out how you have to begin your answers. You have to say, following are some of the qualities or some of the attributes which I feel that a civil servant has to possess in order to improve his ethical competency or ethical skills to suit ethical governance. Can I say like that? Because as a civil servant, you are serving the government for the benefit of people, not the benefit of you but the benefit of people. So when you're doing it for the benefit of people, what you have to do, you have to behave in such a way that you have to fulfill the needs of ethical governance. So previously we were only talking about good governance, and before that only about governance. Chalo, like first it is very vacant, very vacuum, nothing is there. So people thought, okay, there should be somebody to help us here, somebody to govern us. That's enough. They do not expect more than that. Then they realized, since these people has been allotted by us, has been brought by us, previously all are one. Previously all are like, beating and stealing other people's properties. We are hunter-gatherers. We were moving here and there like an animal, like how an animal is in the wild. So the one which is strongest will command the forest. Same happens here. Same, like humans also live same life. now what we are feeling that, see, there is a rule called something, nobody should be harmed. Why we have to, at least, okay, I'm agreeing. Now I am the strongest. I'm having everything to myself. I'm having 10 wives. I'm having 50 children. I'm having 5 houses, 6 houses. I'm having a country, the entire kingdom to myself. But tomorrow, somebody may have it. If someone who is very stronger than me who comes there, he will grab everything from me. So it should not happen. So there should be some form of regulation which has to be formed by ourselves, so that they came up with the government, they came up with society, came up with family, a kind of groupings started happening, not like an individual. Previously, like a wild elephant, man used to run, and they have to occupy the spaces. Then we started doing all these things. So if that happens in that manner, so it was something we thought of about governing ourselves only. We are moving to governance, to good governance. Not long before, around 1991 only, we came with this concept. Okay, now the entire world is moving towards liberalization policy. So we'll do something. So when we are liberalizing our economy, so we also should think about how the government should function, and that the good governance attribute. Previously, long back, our philosophers like Machiavelli, Chanakya, and even the Thiruvalluvar's Kural, everyone has told about it. Not only about governance, but also about ethical governance, right? So they have all spoken. But now, in this era, how it happened? So slowly we are moving, and very recently, even the all India's rules also we have updated. We have told that no, good governance is not enough. We have to move towards ethical governance. So a civil servant who is serving a government which is moving towards a ethical governance, also move towards producing, serving the citizens, the client of the good. In other words, if I call, he should stick towards the ethical principles. So that's why this question is demanding. So you have to produce, which I have said in 2-3 statements as an introduction, and then you have to come with the values, those values which you feel is going to promote the ethical, factors in the or moral qualities in a civil servant. So number one, number two, number three, you have to study that. So before that, see this, I have given certain data for you. I hope you all know about Paul Alby. So he has said he has come in polity, you would have definitely read about him. In governance, you would have definitely read about him. So he said that there are certain characters, attributes, which is assigned to a moral administrator. Okay. So if a person is considered moral, if an administrator is morally, upright person, then he will have these kind of things with him. Responsible, you would be a responsible person. Okay, he would have a personal administration itself. He knows how to manage people. He know how to communicate with people. He know how to tolerant. He know how to be compassionate towards others. Instead of commanding and ordering around, you have to be like one of them. So this way, I can say that the persons should have certain, skill to become a leader, a willingness to solve the problem, and to work as a team. And he should be confident enough in his own way of moving and own way of implementing things. Okay, so the above all thing here, the Paul Appleby has said, he should always be influenced by the public needs only, like how Chanakya has said. The king, who is an administrator, according to him, is the greatest administrator. He said that kings, in his happiness, in the happiness of his subjects lies his happiness, not in his happiness. In no need, he should not be happy. Okay, same way only administrator also. I came, see, I have spent around like 10, 15, 20 lakhs studying 6 years for UPSC exams. So now I come and I have occupied this chair. And then I can demand, I can take how much money I invested with interest rate I can take back. It's not a business, right? So that's what he is saying. So it should not be in your own interest, it should be interest of the people. So with that, I like to discuss, that is an additional information I'm giving for you. With that, I like to discuss certain values for you. I have given only 3 values here. You can also, come with more values, right? Chalo. See the integrity. What is integrity? We all know again integrity, everywhere we have this integrity. So you have to, it doesn't mean that every time, not here. I'm also taking offline classes. Whatever I'm producing here in your crash courses, in your online classes, in offline classes, everything will be completely different. Whatever I am saying to the students never get repeated in my class. Okay, so even here, if I'm using this integrity one time, again next time I will be speaking will be totally different. So that way only I'll be always making up the notes, because you have to have, see, 1 year I'm giving a note, next year it will not be get repeated. That I'll be always watching myself. So it should be always a different and innovative way of approaching the exams. Nah, same thing. You are repeating again, 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 again with one book, reading that, sell it to the students. Same, starting from the ancient era. Now, the modern era, everyone producing the same answers. What will happen? Huh? So now we'll go to the integrity. What is integrity? How you can connect with this question? Integrity, we all know it's a wholesomeness of a person, the inner self of a person. How you're true to yourself, that is called integrity. Okay. So if I want to say that what you are saying, when you go and meet someone, you say, see this, I am a great person. Yeah, chalo, great. You are considering yourself great. Anna, so very good. अच्छा है. Are you true to yourself? You're saying that I am very honest to everybody. I am very loyal, I'm a very loyal friend. But what happens? At back of the friend goes within 5 minutes, you will backbite him. You will talk very badly about him at the back. So is it means a loyalty? So this is something question which comes when integrity enters the room. And integrity comes and meet you. It asks you a question that, are here still now you are telling some to people and you're totally doing different thing. You two faces. So that's something called as integrity, right? So now if I'm saying that integrity is going to increase the ethical values of a person, how it is going to increase? As I can say, an administrator who is going to act on the basis of who is the face of the government, is going to act on the basis of the state towards the people and for the people, the root should be honesty. He should not and never use his power, his position, or anything which he possesses as his that particular job to serve his own interest. Nobody is watching. Okay, let me take this, device. It's very good. I'll take this satellite phone to my home and let my son play with it. Nobody's seeing. Nobody's watching. Who is going to this? This is nothing like, this is something called as integrity. If somebody is asking you, and you're saying, no, 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 I know, sorry, sir, by mistake I put in my bag and took that particular next to my home and I forgot there. It's totally different, but nobody is going to ask. You're true to yourself. You don't want to touch it because it's not yours, it's the government's. It is there for the people and not for you. So this is something called as integrity, and this is the foundation of ethical values. Okay, so that's how we are starting with integrity. Then come to responsibility and accountability. Again, responsibility also is something which makes a person true to himself, makes honest to himself. And this is also one of the highest ethical value a person, an administrator should possess. So if he is in that job, he has to be responsible towards his job, towards his colleague, towards his superiors, okay, towards the people. And with responsibility, which is inside, comes accountability, which is outside, which can be accessed. You can question him and he is answerable. So that's accountability. So this way I can say responsibility and accountability go hand in hand. So if you are responsible enough, you will be accountable too. So this way I have given certain statements. You can also use this. So this civil servant who is there, who is to serve public, he has to be responsible towards his action. In that way, all the dishonest activities, starting from corruption, can be eradicated, can be reduced, and it can be eradicated. The period, not immediately, you cannot, because it has become part of the society. It has been woven into the fabric of the society. It takes a long time, but still, if you are producing a civil servant who's honest enough and who's responsible towards his action, then definitely we can move towards ethical way of governing the people. And then comes neutrality. This is very important attribute, because with this only you can be responsible, you can stay responsible, and you can be staying integrity with integrity. How? When you are neutral, especially with related to political parties, because it's like you are Chanakya used to say that you are holding a honey pot, and if you have a honey pot in your hand, definitely you want to taste it. You will dip, at least put your finger, taste it. So government is like that, he used to say. But I'm saying that you are inside a honey pot, not outside. You are just put in the honey pot. How can you swim out without taking the honey? You'll be definitely doing. So when you are in that position, you are an administrator. You know what is politics and what can be done in politics. How you are serving them. They are your master. You are their slaves, and everyone has a dream to be like one. So then comes that power mongers. They become a power mongers. They want more and more. They are not satisfied with what they have. With the authority they possess, they are not satisfied. So that comes attachment with political parties. I don't want to name anybody here, but you would have known very recently, a lot of examples were there for that. So like that, you have some association and attachment, and then you become completely, you're not neutral in your dealings. So whatever that person or the party demands, you just want to do it irrespective. So you don't have any objective views in your decision making. So it's completely an unethical act only. So that's why we are saying neutrality is very important. And this way I'm concluding this question. You can also conclude in the same manner. So what the question demands? The question demands that, can you list out and elaborate? You have elaborated it. You have it out and you have elaborated it, right? So this is very straightforward question. So don't write any conclusion here. If you want, you give it. So like this, if the civil servants has been filled up with these kinds of values, then we can immediately eradicate that one sin which is called corruption, which is prevailing, like poverty, which is prevailing in every sphere. Corruption is also prevailing in every level of the government and the administration. Okay, so this can be eradicated only through this. This is the only possible solution, right? Then come to the third question, students. Apart from having impartiality, integrity and non-partisanship is highly required. So please cancel this here. Is highly required by a civil servant to possess citizen-centric values, scaling social impact, become a global exemplar. Explain with illustration. Now I'm asking you to illustrate. Okay, so I'll draw a diagram for you today. So you can have idea how you can present an illustration. Even some of you would have done better than me, can do better than me. Okay. So anyhow, it's always education is a part of, it's a process of learning and to be learned, right? I can learn from you, you can learn from me. I'm always eager to learn from you, but the sad story is that we are not able to communicate properly, right? Fine. Let us do for this question. Apart from having impartiality, integrity, and non-partisanship, is really required by a civil servant. That means here what they're coming to say, they're coming to say that integrity and non-partisanship. Talking about impartiality, integrity, non-partisanship. It's even though these are important, to possess for what? To possess citizen-centric values. To have citizen-centric values. Okay, so apart from all these things, we also should have a citizen-centric values. Even these are also a part of citizen-centric values only, to scale social impact, that is a reflection of the society, or the trust the society possesses towards administrators, and this person as a global exemplar. Okay, so explain the illustration. Now you have to illustrate this. How we are going to do it? See this. For that, I have also come with certain, citizen-centric values. Illustration means be in the form of a diagram. You can put in the center the citizen-centric values. Centric values. Then you can connect what are those called as citizen-centric values. So here it is. I'm not going to write. You can put an arrow like this. Okay. Those professional and progressive. Okay. Tolerance, compassion, empathy, anything you can write. Even the three values which we have seen: impartiality, integrity. Okay. Non-partisanship. It's also a citizen-centric values model. Apart from having all these things, so it's up to you. If you don't have any value, don't have any idea, you can use it. But if you have, then you can just use all these things. Okay. So tolerance and compassion, imaginative and innovative, dedication to public service, selflessness. I have come out with these five values. You can use any values. See, now I'm going to illustrate. See that. So this is a diagram. That's it. Now come to this one particular example. I am going to take first this example, then I will come to this example also. So cafe able. This was an initiative taken by district collector Thoothukudi, which is a part of Tamil Nadu, I can say, a district. So there, a few disabled peoples has come to meet him to avail the social sector schemes, the benefit of social sector schemes. So the moment he started interacting with them, he felt that this is not sufficient enough, because the society is not considering these people as part of the society itself. They are like that someone who is from the weaker section, that's it. And they're always in the receiving end. They're not ready, they are not from the giving end, right? Even in the family, they are considered in the same manner. So he felt he was empathetic enough. So you can say that this idea flow from the thought a civil servant when he started interacting with group of disabled peoples, physically disabled or physically challenged, okay, people. So when he started interacting with these people, he felt that he was completely empathetic. So it should be connected like it should be connected like a circle. He should be completely filled with empathy and compassion, that he want to relieve their pain also. Okay, so not only empathy but to find a solution for it. So these people were the group of disabled people when he was interacting. He found that they were completely cornered, that is avoided by the society and always considers burden to the family and the society. So he felt that something to be done. So how he is going to do it? Not only he does not stand there, right? He does not stand there. So that is something called as, this is itself is a citizen-centric value only. But he also move ahead. He is also professional. He did not, completely what to say that disobeyed the laws, rules, and regulations. He was professional, but he is aggressive in nature. He came out with innovative idea plus imaginative. He was imaginative and innovative. So why we are saying this? Because I don't have space here, so I'm above. Okay, if you have space, you can write below. You can put a set bracket. Let's see how to write below. So I'm doing it here. See this. So why? Because he said that he thought that it is better, it's better to educate them or train them or give certain training, okay, in such a way they will not be a burden to the society. They can do something for the society. So he gave training for them in the catering services, catering and cake making, all these things. So where much effort is not required, but once you are learned, you can once you have mastered the skills, so it's the way innovativeness you have to apply in that particular food industries. And if you are doing great, then people will flow to you, right? So that way he has made an arrangement for the training of these peoples. Along with that, he also allotted space for them inside the collectorate itself to start this cafe. And that kind of selfless nature of serving the people came from this particular person, and this we call as citizen centric values. Okay, so there came cafe able. output is cafeable. So this way I connected, I have illustrated here for you. Same way you can illustrate with some other example. This is how you have to do, connecting all the values you are illustrating, right? So then first you have to explain, then put a diagram, a bit explanation, then otherwise you can connect some other person who has come out with the construction of people's road, the so-called people's road, same way only. Okay, after seeing the people's problems, he want to relieve their pain. He want to relieve that the pains they're facing, the problems, the hurdles they're facing. Even children has to travel a longer distances to study, to get education. So he came with an innovative idea. Okay, government is not supporting for construction of this road. Let me do it. Let me do through some other ways, crowdfunding, own contribution, selflessness, and even is progressive in nature, so compassionate enough and imaginative and innovative. And he has gained the applause of all the people of Manipur, and this way the people's road has come out connecting three states. So this is how you have to produce your answers. Not only him, even long back the civil servant, Mr. Pennyquick, even now, he is considered God by the Tamil Nadu people because for construction of the Mullai Periyar Dam, right? Not only that, a lot of irrigation facilities he has started. Even now, along with the God pictures, his picture is put there. So it's even when British were here, he is such a kind of person who possessed the citizen-centric values. Okay, so that's I have given as example. So that question is over, right? So this is why. Explain with the illustration. You are going to explain that. Okay. This way, how you are, then only you have illustrated. Then how will you complete it? So you have to say as a servant along with the normal values which is suggested by any rule book, any law book, whatever you take, all India service rules, a civil service conduct rules, anything you take. They're talking about impartiality, integrity, non-partisanship, dedication. All this will come. Okay, like a order it will be added along. But apart from all these things, here the one who possess true citizens and oriented values, true citizen oriented values, then he will be definitely trying to increase the trust bondage between the people and the government, and he will be setting as an example for the others. So that's he becomes a global exemplar. Okay, that way you have to complete your answer, right? Done. So now move to the next question. See this. Foremost duty of a civil servant is to take steps to resolve any conflict in a way that protects the public interest. They have given a statement first to you. That's a foremost duty. This is an important duty of a civil servant is to take steps to resolve any conflict in a way that protects public interest. Yes. Sahi baat hai. Then what's the question demanding to you in the view of the above statement? So when some question comes like this, the view of the above statement, in the light of the above statement, you should always keep this in mind and connect it in your answer. That's what they're coming to ask. In the view of the above statement, explain how the below values is relevant. Is relevant. That is how these values are helping to resolve the conflicts which occurs, the conflict of interest occurs, which comes as a hindrances to serve the interest of the public. That's a question which is asked to you, right? So now you have to take each and every term which is put here, not more than three statements. You have to produce the answer as small as possible. 3 to 4 statements you have to complete your answer for each word. Okay, so the first word which is given here is responsiveness. Responsiveness. What is responsiveness? Yes, what is responsiveness? As I have come up with a larger answer for you. See, this much is not enough. As you can see here, this much I have given here. But this is for your own reference. I have done it. So responsiveness means in simple term, I can say that you are responding to the people's need. That is responsiveness. You are responding the right way, the right manner to the people's need. Okay, so that means the way you accept, read their need and act according to the need, replying back in a courtesy way to them. That's something called responsiveness, and how it will solve the conflict which is coming to hinder the interest, public interest. That means you know that the people are the client of the government who walk in to avail the benefit of the government which you are going to implement on behalf of the government. So once when you are agent of the government, you are there to help the people. And if you are responsive enough, you are ready to quickly respond to the needs of the people, then you will definitely have no room to the conflicts which arises whether I have to take care of people's interest or the party interest or someone else's interest or my relatives interest or my own interest. For me, people's interest are always important. So this is something which you have to write when you are talking about the responsiveness as the first value, you can say. Okay, so that's what it is also given here. That means that a public servant has to first read that what the client has come, why he has come, for what purpose he has come, what he requires from us. Then you have to respond back in a proper way, in a courtesy way, in a proper behavior you have to exhibit to him. But what happens reality, you enter into a public office, you will never want to go back. You never want to go back, no. Not only the police station, any office, but now it is trying to get improved. It is checked in in many districts, in many places, in many departments. It is checked. But even then, we feel, Are what here? We'll go to private one. He gives the benefit on time. Money I'm giving, benefit on my hand, right? So money though, benefit low. That means it's from the private people, but not from the government. Government, you cannot expect the same from the government. So here they treat us like a slave, but there we are masters. That kind of mentality is coming because there is lack of responsiveness from the public department, and that's how you have to connect your answer. Either like a formula you can do and write, or you can write as a statement. Okay, just practice it. From now on, you try to practice it. So it will come over the period, right? Now to this next one, fairness. How fairness resolve a conflict? See, fairness means what? First of all, you're trying to act on the basis of merit, on objective basis, not discriminating between anyone. Okay, not trying to fulfill the needs of any peculiar community or peculiar persons. Your own interest, you're not trying to care, but general interest is important. So that's called as fairness. That is acting on the basis of merit. So how this fairness will act? If you have fairness in dealing, okay, so you are not going to consider, okay, this person I know about this person. So instead of allotting the tender to some other person who I don't know, let me allot to him. Not only for the benefit people are doing it, they're doing it for the community basis, they're doing it for the relationships. For many persons it is happening. So if instead of doing like that, you are very fair in your dealings, because this is my office chair. Once when I sit here, for everyone is equal. Unless there is affirmative action which I have to take as a civil servant, I'll do it. But otherwise, like I have to treat them everyone in a fair manner, so that doesn't come any conflict at all. Not for money, not for kind, not for cash, anything. So that way you have to say that how fairness is acting its role, taking its role, as you can see this. So when a civil servant and a public officials is going to make a decision, and he is going to act in a fair and equitable manner without any bias or without any prejudice towards community or towards a society, based on only the merit, okay, by respecting the rights of the complete every citizens, then there will be conflicts of the interest would take place. Way you can write your answer. So this is how you have to produce your answer. I have given a statement for you. Same way, come to the next one, courtesy. What you will do for courtesy, what you can write for courtesy. So courtesy means it's a proper way of behaving with people. Okay, so all these are for fairness only I have given. So it's a way that how kind manner you are trying to approach a person. Okay, so that means the right attitude and the right behavior, I can say like that. That's called something called as courtesy you should have. So that's why, like, everywhere when people are addressing this public departments, like the officials, they're asking, do you have even a bit of courtesy towards people? Or that's the first word it comes out. Means we agree you are in a crisis situations. Very recently, you would have also heard about a person who was committed, police officer who was committed suicide. This is not a new thing which is happening here because of work pressure. They're telling like that. But the thing is that you do have pressure, we do agree. You would have have to be responsible and answerable to your higher officials. They would definitely ask you, they would question you, they would trash you. We agree, we do agree. But we humans, we citizens are already fearful. We are in a problem, we are approaching you, we are coming with fear, and in filled in our mind, in a confused state. We are approaching you, we are thinking like a god, we are considering we are putting you in some position far ahead than us, and we are coming with full confidence that there is a person who can help us. But now how you are approaching? "Alright, why you come here to the department, huh? Right, go." The way they talk, the way, that's what now they are asking. No, a lot of social medias videos has been uploaded and now it is circulating everywhere, and they're saying that please behave properly, police is your friend. Why this kind of awareness program is going on for the officials itself? They're saying, you are having IQ, you have cleared them. What about your EQ here? It's lagging far behind. You don't know how to handle your emotion. You don't know how to, where is your AQ? Where is your adversary quotient? You don't know how to handle your stress. You're committing suicide. What you're saying to the community, what message you're delivering to the community. Then comes the courtesy. If you don't know how to treat yourself, if you don't know how to behave to yourself, how will you behave with the public? You will also behave in the same way. You, like a mirror, you from your higher officials, you reflect back to the society. That's something called as courtesy. So you have tried that. So courtesy is something like when you are tolerable, when you are empathetic towards the people, there comes courtesy automatically. It is not borrowed from anyone, it comes from inside. When you are tolerable and empathetic, that means you always putting yourself in that particular person's position and considering you are you are just watching like, oh, if I am in that position, what I will do, right? So that type of mentality, if it comes, there does not occur any conflict, because you are here to serve the public, you are not to serve yourself, right? So when you are seeing from his position, what would he do, right? So that comes, there is no conflict. And then comes the next word, accountability. Accountability, we all know, there is nothing to describe here. So you know how to explain accountability. It's a way you are answering, you are answerable for your actions, you're answerable for what you have committed. So if you have this kind of value with yourself, then what happens? Definitely fearful for the public, because the public will question you if you're doing something wrong. If you're having a maladministration, misadministration, misutilization of funds, anything you are going to do, you are answerable to the public. If you're ready for that, you will never go in a conflicting situation at all. There will be no conflict of interest. There might be ethical dilemma, but there will not be a conflict of interest which comes in your way. So this way, accountability can be settled. And last is selfless. All this starts from this selfless act only. All these values, I can say. How? Through selfless act. That means you are not selfish towards your actions. You are not selfish. You doesn't want anything for yourself, but you want to give everything to all. For that only you have opted this position. When you go and sit in the interview, why have you come here to UPSC field? Beta, please, batao. Then you tell, gee, I don't have, I can go for NGO. I have served in NGO, but I don't have proper authority and power in my hand. That's why I have come to this UPSC field. Default will have this answer. But what is that? Something called as selflessness. Selflessness, for that only you have said that answer. That is the answer you are giving to the board. But once you come and sit in your own board, what happens? You are on board. You feel like you are over the flight, not in the flight, over the flight. And everyone has to worship you like God, and that selflessness goes and comes in the manner of centric attitude. Serving yourself, serving you. You grow like a white elephant, right? So that you cannot even walk 100 crore house. 100 crore. Where? Whose money? From where it has come? People's money, right? So this is something called as selflessness. If you're selflessness character, if you're selfless in your character, and if you're serving with the same attitude which you have given to the answer which you have given to the board, if you are following it, if you're integral enough to follow it, then there comes everything that all the values follows it, right? So that's it. We have completed the third unit. I have, done. I have the thought from every angle, east, west, north, south. I have framed these 4 questions because one question can be given from the unit 3. But at most I have thought and I have brought about 4. I think 4 questions. No. So for you from this particular chapter. Okay, every angle I have thought. So far, next forthcoming exams and all, you have to replace the word. That's it. If suppose that is impartiality and non-partisanship, they are asking, then you can put a empathy word there, or then passion word there, honesty there, anything. But every word, no, every value which is there in the syllabus, at least, which is there in the syllabus, try to prepare the importance of that particular word, and then you put some 3 points. What are the importance of having this value by a civil servant? That's how you have to connect. Okay. So now, chalo, come to the next question, our next unit. So instead of going to the 4th unit, which is the emotional intelligence for you, I'm just coming to the 5th unit. I am bypassing the 4th unit, but you will do it in the next session. Do it. So, okay, so this session I have to complete with this unit only. That's the contribution of moral thinkers and philosophers from India. Although there will be no direct questions like something discuss about the contributions of moral thinkers and philosophers from India and world. Same line they are not going to ask. But you know, the first unit there was also a topic, lessons learned from life teachings and of great leaders, reformers, administrators. There was a topic. That time, there was one question also from that particular section, that what lessons you learned or what eminent personality has influenced you in his life and what you have learned from him. That way, there was a question, direct question was there. So, anytime there might be a question, can you discuss the important contributions of moral thinker whom you consider as an eminent person in your life, or a efficient person according to you, or influential person according to you? Like this, there might be a question. Anytime, can be, maybe. You have to prepare yourself in that angle. Or you can use the terms and statements which you are going to cross this particular chapter. You can use it in any question you are going to write or going to produce, okay, on behalf of ethics. I can say that. Anything. So you can play, you can just insert these statements, whichever you're going to learn from this topic, and it will be very much full, so that, your perspective itself will be totally different. When you're starting, even a 7th unit, you can start with this contribution of a moral thinker, what a thinker has said. Then you can connect it in your answer, you can produce your answer. Come to the question. Renunciation, very basis upon which ethics stands. Never was an ethical code reached which had not renunciation its basis. In the light of the above statement, can you explore whether Vivekananda's ethics is deontological or teleological in nature? So we are going to explore whether it belongs to, already we discussed that there are 3 schools of ethics were there. One is deontology, teleology, virtue. But Vivekananda, Swami, same. Swami Vivekananda only. Na? Vivekananda means you don't think there is different person name of Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda has given out moral philosophy for us. I hope you would have also learned it. You would have also read it. Can you answer this question? The question which I put forward to you. Can you answer this question? What I am coming to ask to you, what is Vivekananda's ethics? Whether it belongs to deontology group or teleology group, which you please push away, which will come then and there only. Not every way carry which you with us. We'll always segregate any school of thought based on deontology or teleology only. What this Vivekananda's ethics is coming? So that's a question. For that only, they have given a clue also. This is a statement. This is a quotation from his words. These are the words said by Vivekananda. What he has said, renunciation is the basis on which ethics stands. That is the answer. Never was an ethical code preached which had not renunciation for its basis. So he's saying there is no ethics which is talking about renunciation. That means there lies the answer for his ethics does not belong to deontology, it does belong to teleology. If you are fair enough to address, you would definitely identify from the question itself. You know, if you have read about his ethics, especially from this perspective which I have given here, you definitely know after reading this, okay, they are coming to ask about this only, right? If not, how will you be answering this kind of questions? You have to answer about Vivekananda's moral philosophy. That's it. Produce your answer in that manner. So, as I can say that there were two schools. One is consequentialism, that is teleological ethics. Another is deontology ethics. So, teleology ethics or consequentialism says that what it says benefit, maximum number of people, even the consequentialism is of two variations. One is hedonism, another is utilitarianism. You all know it. See this hedonism and utilitarianism. You know all these things. No, hedonism means what? And utilitarianism means what? There were different group of thinkers who are supporting utilitarianism. There are another group of thinkers who are supporting hedonism. They're hedonistic in view, and these people are utilitarianistic in view. That means consequentialism, I can say, it's a kind of theory which is ultimately talking about the benefit which we are going to reap for the maximum number of people. Hedonism saying that pursuit of happiness is the utmost importance. Like happiness of from anything. But if you're happy, if many people are happy, then that is right. That is hedonism. But utilitarianism is saying that the greatest good to the greatest number of people, that is utility basis. So see, watch carefully. So here, utilitarianism is saying the benefit to maximum number of people, whatever act you are committing, it is good only. That's why I told you, you steal, you are giving to the poor people. Good. Hedonism is saying pursue happiness. If you're doing something, people are happy. It doesn't matter what you do. They're happy, no? So hedonism. But Swami Vivekananda is saying that, you know, he is criticizing the utilitarianism concept, that is maximum benefit to maximum number of people. He is criticizing that. He was having a strict criticism towards hedonism. He doesn't want to talk about hedonism at all. The reason is the term is saying that utility we are talking, no, it's talking about the greatest good to greatest people. But Vivekananda rejects utilitarianism, that this theory cannot explain any this utilitarianism theory cannot explain the relationship, the ethical relationship, the humans which who is going to derive from the ethical laws. Okay, so it is not true in case of everything. He says like that. The case of utilitarianism is not true in every cases. Okay, he says that okay, suppose why you are considering utility. Utility means you are going to remove the unhappiness for the people. You're doing something for the benefit of people. Like as we said, you're stealing and giving to the people, the poor people, to have their dinner, to have food. Let us say like that. So that okay, you're doing in that basis. Okay, so why you are going to remove the problems? The distress should be removed, and you have to give happiness to the masses. But that happen on the basis of unselfish act and the love for all. Through that way only you have to do it, not through your selfish. You are watching a person who's super rich and you feel that why I am like this, why this person is having luck to that extreme. that is, floating in me. But see me, or see these people. That's a kind of selfishness you have. You are comparing that person. You are comparing. There comes selfishness. You are comparing that person and thinking that, oh, this person only is raining in money, is swimming in money. But for me, for him, it's coming. For me, it's going. Now you are thinking that, oh, he should not be happy. So what I'm going to do? I'm going to take his money, make him suffer. I'm going to give to the poor people. I'm not for myself. I'm not having for myself. I'm going to give to some people only. I'm going to give the benefit of the people only. But you are taking it from him, because this is also a kind of selfishness. And I cannot consider this as a utilitarianism concept at all. If you're doing the same act, love with with love for everyone, then it can be considered as a act of morality. Okay, so that's why Swamiji's utilitarianism, that's ethical philosophy, we can brand as utilitarianism with a difference. You can say like that, utilitarianism with the difference. It's not completely against utilitarianism. He is also saying that that act which you are committing has to be benefit of the people, maximum benefit of people, but there is certain difference. That here consequence is not important. In case of utilitarianism, we are talking about consequences, the result, the end, okay, of an action. But in case of Swamiji's utilitarianism, or utilitarianism with the difference, we are talking about the motive, that is that motive, with what intention you are doing it, with what intention you are doing it. For example, Pushpa, a very best known example throughout India, not only in that particular state. There a person cutting down Red Sanders, although he has been, facing pain and sufferings throughout his childhood days. Then the moment he becomes questioning these dons who are committing the sin, he himself started doing it. Okay, and there was not only Pushpa, KGF you take, same. So there comes, what's your motive? What's the motive behind it? See, the thing is that you are also involving in the same kind of act, but consequences is good. So utilitarianism is simply saying, "Arey, what a person here. He has given to the society. He has taken, he has given to the society. But what is your motive? Is your motive right? Is your motive right? That's a question which comes. That's a question which Swamiji is asking, and that's something called as utilitarianism with the difference. So we cannot take. This is the lesson we have learned from Swamiji's lessons, and we cannot bring, or we cannot pack his theory or moral principle within utilitarianism, but it starts out with utilitarianism with the difference. There comes another deontology. Okay, let us go now. Let us take this and bring Vivekananda's idea and check that whether it belongs to deontology ethics. There comes the question. So there we all know that deontology ethics says that whatever act you are going to commit, you are committing that act as a duty, as a safe duty. You are doing that, not for the desire, not for the self-interest, not for the community interest, for the duty. You're doing that act. That is something which deontology ethics says that. But Swami Vivekananda asks us to practice the self-effacement. You can see this in all our actions. In all our actions which we are committing, there should be, the center of attraction, as I can say, that exhortation to work for the sake of duty. Okay, that means he says that the Immanuel Kant idea is about a moral action, an action whose worth, the motive is something due. See, I am doing this because it's my duty. I am doing this as a son because it's my duty towards my father. I am doing this as a father because it's my duty towards son. I am doing this towards my sister because this is my duty towards my sister as a sister. So, but Vivekananda says that duty, if you're doing like a duty without any love, without any attachment, then it's not a ethical duty at all. It's not an ethical principle at all, according to him. So, according to Kant, I can say that it's something he's doing, on behalf of compulsion, even though you like it or not, as a duty of a son towards his father, as a duty of father towards his son, as a duty of son towards his mother, and mother's duty towards son or a daughter. You're doing due to compulsion, and it's not an impulsion. It's not an attachment you are having towards performing that act. So then that is something I'm calling out of deontology. And for me, that kind of act is completely slavery only. It's a kind of slavery. It's a kind of modern slavery. I can say that you are considering yourself, you are putting yourself in the slave position. You are doing some service. That's it. So it's not ethical act according. So he is not ready to go into the deontology also, he is not ready to go into the teleology also. So that's where we can say that this is how you have to conclude this question, that we are arriving at a negative conclusion. The moral philosophy of Vivekananda is neither consequential or not deontology. So it's completely it's really it is completely correlating this or corollary with the concept of religion, I can say. So it's parallelly with the concept of his religion. And we have to note here that Vivekananda has had a different kind of religion. It's not a religion about Hinduism, Christianity, or Muslim Islam. He is talking about Vivekananda's religion is not a doctrine or not a theory at all. But what is his religion? His foremost religion is realization of the divinity, that is, that God lives in everyone. God lives within everyone. God is pervading through everyone. So every individual is a God himself. That is ethics. That is Vivekananda religion, and that is his ethics also. So based on this only, he says that God is in everyone. God pervades through everyone. So that if you are serving with love and affection towards others, and for the love of others, for the love for others, you're spreading this love, and then that is something called as ethics according to him. Okay, understood? So this is how you have to write this answer for the question. So come to the next question. Now, next question. Last in what according to Kant is autonomy of will as a foundation of morality. Okay, autonomy of will as a foundation of morality. This is a question. See, if I've read this word somewhere, you would have definitely read it. You should have read it. Is that nothing like if you have read it, had you read it, or whether you have seen it? No such questions. You should have read this word. Definitely, if you are a UPSC aspirant, you should have definitely referred this word, and you would have already had an idea. See, the question is saying that we already know Kant is a philosopher who talked about deontology ethics, that is a duty-based ethics. For now, still now we were discussing that only, deontology, duty, dot, dot, dot. And he gave an idea called categorical imperative. His idea is something in the name of categorical imperative. Now, this question is very straight. They are simply asking to explain this, that's it. What according to Kant is autonomy of will as a foundation of morality? This is a question. The answer is here only, inside, outside only. It is hidden inside. So they are asking to explain the statement. They are asking what the statement, what is the meaning of the statement? That's it. You have to start that. Since we all know Mr. Kant, Immanuel Kant, his full name is, he is a philosopher who always belongs to the deontological school of thought. He always considered that performing duty is a moral obligation. So it's a duty based ethics he's talking about. And according to him, we are going to explain what is so called the autonomy of will. This is the word, autonomy of will, which acts as the foundation of morality. Autonomy of will, which acts as the foundation of morality. Means his idea is categorical imperative. So I can say autonomy of will giving place to or giving way to categorical imperative. Okay, categorical imperative. This is his theory, no? Categorical imperative is his theory. So autonomy of will giving face to or giving way to categorical imperative. So can I say like that? So this is how you have to begin the introduction part. Now you are going to explain what is that autonomy. So autonomy of will. The thing is that we all know humans are performing certain actions. In their life, you have to perform certain acts. How you are performing it, whether you are performing with your own will or you are forced to do such a certain act. He says that the morality of the action lies in autonomy of will only. See, the thing is that in the first unit, you would have learned something like I would have already discussed in our discussions classes. Okay, like when a person is performing an act, he will be leave this place. Doesn't matter. It's something related to knowledge, but come to this place, he has to do with the he should voluntarily perform that action, and he has to do with free will. So it does not stop here. It is not only a voluntary act. Voluntary means the act under your control, but still you are not doing it with your mind. Some direct or indirect pressure is acting upon you to make you perform that act. Okay, that can be a voluntary act. But what is called as a willful act? Something like you are willing to do it. You are willing to do it with your full sense. That is a willful act. Someone who is just losing his temper while talking to his wife, suddenly he gets angry, throws something on her head or bang her head on the house somewhere on the wall. She gets collapsed. She dies. That's something which he did not plan. It came out immediately, like the way he reacted to that situation. Or even a woman, we can say, women beating a man and a husband. Suddenly she take a knife, put in his, stabbed him because he's completely tortured to hell. So she did it immediately. No, she did not plan for it, but it came out. So it's although the act was done and committed by her, it's a voluntary act she has done, but it's not something which she has done with free will. Some pressure which is inside of her, which is forcing her to do it. So she was in a normal mentality. Say that's the thing which we are saying that, but there are certain other kind of people planning for 6 months, planning for 4 months, planning for 1 year, planning for 2 years, killing the person, cutting into pieces, putting in the freezer, disposing part by part. Willfully done. So that's the difference. So that's what Kant is also saying. Willfully done is totally different from voluntarily done. I am always giving base for autonomy of will, where I'm only thinking about like how much autonomy a person has to perform that act. There starts the morality of action. So there should be no pressures, no internal pressure, no physical pressure from outside, external pressure, and the person has to be completely free from all these forces and pressure which is trying to build up in him and build up outside of him, and there he performs the proper action, and it leads way to a categorical imperative which is having a universal character. We are not going to talk about a categorical imperative. We are talking about the autonomy of will. So what kind of autonomy he'll have, and where and all he can free himself, that you can draw as a diagram. So what type of autonomy he has to have to perform an action? Free from the family, free from the group pressures. What kind of groups you can say? Group pressures means what kind of group and all you can consider? You can consider the closed groups. Okay, those who are with us completely, like our family members, our friends. Okay, societal groups which is influencing us, which gives a panic attack to us. Like you are seeing a group of people where they are drawing like the Lamborghini or the Benz. They are living in a luxury villa. You are staying in an apartment with only 2 rooms or with a single room, and now you see this. Why should I not? That's a pressure. That's a group pressure. Again, it's not a closed group. It's something which you are going, which you are seeing. That's a referring, and that is influencing you. That kind of pressure you are having, and then you're committing an act. That's a group pressure. That's a pressure from group. And then we can also say the family pressures. That's a very important thing. As you want to walk in the right, your family doesn't want to, or your family want to walk in the right path, you don't want to. Okay, so then not only that, the pressure which builds up are the way the external influencing actions, like the experience you get from the society, from your friends, from anyone which you meet. Okay, then there are any places you are traveling, and that particular culture and that particular system which is also influencing you. Internal pressures, internal influences, like your own attitude, your own value systems, which you have acquired, which you have built step by step by interacting with different people, is also influencing you, and you have to be devoid of everything. And then that stands autonomy of will, and now you become like a godly sense, you become like a god-like creature. That's what categorical imperative is also saying. No, how to, man is self legislating in character. That whatever laws, whatever, rules comes, it comes from his heart. It comes from him, inside of him. So that when it comes from inside of him, when he attains that godly statue, when he is free from everything, when you are free from every desire, forces, pressures, likes, everything which is going to blind you, you have to free it. Now you free. That is something called as autonomy of will. Then you form a moral action, and that moral action is something is called as a rule you are giving to the universe, and that is called categorical imperative. As man is self-legislating in character, he gives out those rules which has to be followed by everyone in the universe. Okay, so this way you have to conclude your answers. Fine. Students, so today I've seen some 6 questions. Already also we have done a lot of questions, 5 question, 6 question, and like that we have a progress, right? So for the past 2 answer session has got over, and this is our third question answer session. We have completed till third unit and fifth unit, fifth unit done. Fourth, sixth, and seventh is pending. We'll be doing it in both coming sessions. So this way, you can, if you have any doubt, also you'd have asked me in the classes only. And fine, we stay connected and stay tuned, and we'll meet again, like for the case study class session. I think the next week, like on the Saturday, we'll be meeting.